unconstrained power. Schopenhauer had a fantastic idea, an insight. Schopenhauer was a German philosopher who influenced Nietzsche, another German philosopher. Nietzsche's claim to fame was the idea of will to power, that all life is driven by this will to power. This idea matches perfectly with the hierarchical structures we see everywhere. It fits perfectly with the evolutionary psychology that is the driving force of the mind persuasion sequence. A series of questions you can ask people and not only induce their ego flex instinct, but to feel fantastic doing it, and to feel fantastic doing it in the direction of your outcome. Whenever anybody talks about their desires, when they talk about their past good decisions, when they talk about and explain and kind of low-key brag about their past successes, they are flexing their will to power. This is why the mind persuasion sequence works so well. This is how specifically people are using the mind persuasion sequence to make a lot of money in sales without really even trying, without ever really needing to close their customers. But there's a much deeper element, an idea or insight that I alluded to earlier. Schopenhauer's idea or insight. The idea of sex energy has always been troubling to philosophers, mainly because most of Western philosophy is influenced by Christian thought or Christian philosophy. And a funny thing happened during the Middle Ages. Sex itself became an object of power in a very will to power sense. Whoever could control who had sex with whom could control quite a lot. The way it played out was like this. Most of the time, men who were second born into noble families didn't really inherit anything. Only firstborn men inherited everything from the family. So these second-born men drifted into the clergy, and they joined the massively powerful Catholic Church. And guess what happened next? Over the centuries, the Catholic Church slowly changed the rules about who got to have sex with whom. They were essentially controlling how these noble families could or couldn't keep the wealth in their family. This Cold War played out for hundreds of years. The noble, land-owning, wealthy families on one hand, and the Catholic Church on the other hand. And guess who won? The Catholic Church is still standing and is one of the wealthiest entities on earth. The Catholic Church owns more land than any other entity, all because they controlled who had sex with whom. But Schopenhauer's idea is much, much deeper. His idea is that sex energy is the will to power of life itself, not in a tangible, logical, rational, or legal way, but in a very deep, very ancient, very metaphysical way, a very powerfully spiritual way. Sex or sex energy is the will to power of life itself, which means when you learn to harness this, you will have powers of persuasion that few people can even understand, let alone learn how to use in your daily life. You will be able to combine your sexual energy with the questions in the mind persuasion sequence to get people to do whatever you want. And I mean absolutely anything you want, and feel better than they ever have while doing it, as if your outcome is their own spiritual expression of life itself.